Good morning, children. In today's video, I'll talk about numerical on Raoult's law, ideal and non-ideal solution on the basis of Raoult's law, and then I'll talk about what do you mean by azeotrope and the type of azeotropic equations. Now, let's start.
In the last lecture, we have talked about the Raoult's law, and we have said that the total pressure PT is nothing but equal to what? P1 naught plus P2 naught minus P1 naught into X2. We have this equation we have derived from the Raoult's law. Okay. Now this equation we are doing now the numerical of it. This equation can also be written as PT is equal to P1 naught x1 plus P2 naught x2, or it can also be written as P1 naught 1 minus x2 plus P2 naught x2. Okay. Now either you can use this equation or you can use this equation to solve the numerical of Raoult's law. One more equation we have derived. P1 is equal to P1 naught x1 and P2 is equal to P2 naught x2. And in the vapor phase, we have derived the equation where we have used that this P1 is equal to Y1 P total and P2 is equal to Y2 P total. These formulas we'll use to solve the numerical based on Raoult's law. Now here children, I'll make it very clear. This X2, whose mole fraction you will take. When I solved the graph, I said that I am considering this X2 as more volatile component. Okay. Now, how will you find that which is more volatile? Whose vapor pressure is high. In the question, whichever vapor pressure is high, you consider it as more volatile, and that X2 you will use in the equation if you have to calculate what? The PT. Now see in the question what you have to answer in the question. It is a 2.8 in-text question of page number 47 of your NCERT book. The vapor pressure of pure liquid A and B. A and B pure liquid means what is PA naught is given to you and PB naught is given to you. Their vapor pressure are 450 mmHg and 700 mmHg at 350 Kelvin. Find the composition of liquid mixture. Find the composition of liquid mixture means what? Composition is always the mole fraction. Okay. So X1 you have to calculate. X2 you have to calculate the composition in liquid mixture. If the total pressure is 600 mmHg, what is given to you? P total is given to you, which is 600 mmHg. Also find the composition in the vapor phase. Means what you have to calculate? Y1 also you have to calculate and Y2 also you have to calculate. Since they have given two component A and B, this can be XA, this can be XB, this is YA and this can be YB. Okay. Now I'll use the formula first to calculate the composition in the liquid phase. Now which formula I am using here? I am using this first formula. See how I am using it. You can even use this formula also. Okay. Now how I am using, just see. This P total is given to you. I am writing the formula again. P total is equal to P1 naught plus P2 naught minus P1 naught into X2. Now, I'll put the value PT is given to me in the question as 600. P1 means P1 is what? PA here. So, this is given to me in the question as 450. Then, plus what is PB or P2? It is 700. So this is 700 minus P1 naught again means what? PA naught. So this is 450 and X2 you have to calculate in the question. Okay. Now when you will solve this question, how you will solve this question? It will come out as 600 is equal to 450 plus this you will solve, it will come out to be 250 x2. Okay, so this 450 I'll take it here. 600 minus 450 is equal to 250 x2, or when you solve it out, it is coming out to be 150, and this 250 I am taking here, so divided by 250 is equal to x2. So x2 is nothing but equal to what? 0.6. Now we know that x1 plus x2 is equal to 1. So x2 value is with me. So x1 is equal to what? 1 minus x2. This is 0.6. So my answer is what? 0.4 for x1. Okay children, so this equation I am putting to get the value of x2. If you are using this equation, then you can also solve it. PT is given to you, P1 naught is given to you, P2 naught is given to you. You can solve in terms of x2. Now this is the composition in the liquid phase. Now we are solving it for the vapor phase. Now for the vapor phase, my formula is P1 is equal to Y1 P total. Okay, now I am having with me, P total is with me. This P1 is not given to me in the question. Okay. Now I know one more formula which I have written here. This P1, or in the question I am writing, PA is equal to PA naught XA. Now what is PA naught given to me in the question? 450. So this is 450 into what is XA coming out to be? 0.4. So this is 0.4. 450 into 0.4, it is 180 mmHg. So my PA also has, I found out. Now for the PB, it is what? PB naught into XB. Now what is my PB naught in the question? 700. And what is my X2 or XB? It is 0.6. So when I'll solve it out, it comes out to be 420 mmHg. Now I am having my PA, PB value, then I am having my which value? XA and XB value. Now I'll solve it out here. This P1 is equal to Y1 P total. You can write it as PAA. Okay, so PA is given to found out as 180. So this is 180. This I have to find out. And what is P total given in the question? 600. So 180 divided by 600 is equal to YA, or YA is equal to 0.3. It is a fraction, so it has no unit. Now I have to find out PB is equal to YB P total. I have to find out this YB. PB is coming out to be what? 420. So this is 420 is equal to YB into P total is 600. So 420 divided by 600 is equal to what? YB, and YB is nothing but equal to what? 0.7. Okay, so this way you can calculate the mole fraction in the vapor phase, and this way you can calculate the mole fraction in the liquid phase. Now children, in this reference, you will solve a NCERT example question without looking to the answer of it. You will solve it out. This question is your example question number 2.5. Okay, so homework you will solve example question number 2.5, which is given on page number 43. Okay, hope the things are clear to you. In that question, you have to find out the mole fraction. Okay, so in that question, always remember which liquid you will consider as this X2, which is more volatile here. Hope the question is very clear to you. This is the basic pattern which is asked on the Raoult's law. Now we'll proceed with the same topic and we'll talk about now the Raoult's law as the special case of Henry's law. This is also a 1 mark question in the board as a theoretical question. Now how come we can say that Raoult's law is a special case of Henry's law? So I am writing here the next topic. It is important for 1 mark question in the board. Raoult's law as a special case of Henry's law. Now when I was talking about the Henry's law, I said that Henry's talked about the partial pressure of the gas when it is dissolved in a given liquid, and he found a relation which we write as P is equal to KH into X. And this X is what? The mole fraction. This is whose equation? Henry's. Okay, Henry's equation. Now, when we have derived the Raoult's law for liquid-liquid solution, what we said that in this, the partial pressure of any component is directly proportional to its mole fraction, and when we have removed the proportionality, we put a constant which is P1 naught into X1. Yes or no? Now, if you see to these two equations, this is also the partial pressure of the gas and this is also the partial pressure of the liquid. It is both the pressure which is there and these are what? The mole fractions. Okay. So, what is different here? This KH and the P1 naught, which is what? The proportionality constant. So, when this KH becomes equal to P1 naught, then Raoult's law becomes the special case of Henry's law. So how you will write in the exam that according to Henry's law, P is equal to KH into X, and according to Raoult's law, P1 is equal to P1 naught into X1. Both these are the partial pressures which are proportional to what? The mole fractions. Only the difference is in the proportionality constant. When they become equal, Raoult's law becomes the special case of Henry's law. This you have to write in a 1 mark question. Hope this point is clear to you. Now, proceeding with this, now we will talk about the solution, vapor pressure of solution of solid in liquid. Okay, now this is the second case we are talking about. We are dealing with the topic of vapor pressure, and in the previous lecture we have talked about vapor pressure, what are the factors which are affecting. Then we have talked about a liquid-liquid solution in which we have discussed Raoult's law, and then we have discussed the numerical along with the Raoult's law as a special case to Henry's law. Now this is the second case of vapor pressure when a solid is dissolved in a given liquid. Now children, here you see when a solid, and what this solid is, it is a non-volatile solid. Okay, there both the liquids were volatile and both were making what? The vapor pressure. Now here what I am saying is the solid which I am dissolving in a given liquid, it is non-volatile solid. Now just see here, when you heat a given liquid, okay, you are providing the temperature or heat here, they will form the vapors. Okay, and these vapors will be formed on the top, and I already told you we are having the closed chamber. Okay, now these vapors are formed and they will create the vapor pressure on the liquid. Now just see, when I dissolved a solid in the liquid, any solid you can take. This here one point I'll discuss with you. When this solid is dissolved in the liquid, what will happen now, children? Just see. This solid, when you provide the heat or the temperature, the solid also will rise, okay, and it will, on the surface of this solid, there is a liquid which is forming the vapor, okay. Now what will happen here? Now at this point, here all the vapors are of the liquid only. Now this here, this pink color is of the solid, okay. Now this solid will not evaporate in the form of vapor because it is which type of solid? Non-volatile solid, fine. So only the vapors which will come out, it is of the liquid. Now since they are hindering the path of this liquid, therefore less vapors will be formed. So what I want to say is that when a non-volatile solute is dissolved in a given liquid, there is a lowering in the vapor pressure. And this lowering in the vapor pressure, it depends upon the number of the solute particles irrespective of its nature. We'll deal with this in the colligative property also, but just remember one point. This non-volatile solid which we are adding in this liquid, it is lowering the vapor pressure. Is it clear to you why it is lowering the vapor pressure? Because it is also, when you heat it, it is also coming out on the surface, but they cannot come out because they are non-volatile. So vapors are not formed by them and they are hindering their path, so they are reducing the vapor pressure. And this is equal to the amount we had taken, not irrespective of its nature. Okay, either you take 1 mole of glucose, you can take 1 mole of urea, you can take 1 mole of sucrose or any other non-volatile solute. Okay, so this lowering is relative lowering of vapor pressure. So just now we'll discuss that whenever a non-volatile solute is added, there is a lowering in the vapor pressure of the given liquid. Now, in the generalized form, in the question, the Raoult's law sometimes asked as state Raoult's law in general form. Okay, this is the way the question is asked. Now children gets confused which law they have to write. Just read the previous law. You have written in the previous law that the mole in any solution, the partial pressure of each component in the solution. Why each component? Because each component was volatile there. Here it is a one volatile and one non-volatile. So what is in the generalized form? You will write for any solution, the partial vapor pressure of each volatile component. Okay, each volatile component in the solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction. Okay, is directly proportional to its mole fraction. It is directly to its mole fraction. Now here what is the difference? In the exam if it is asked state Raoult's law in the general form, each volatile component, because who are forming the vapors? The component which is volatile. Now in the previous section what was happening? Because both the components were volatile, so there we have written each component in the solution. Here we are writing each volatile component in the solution. There just see the previous law. There we have written each component in the solution, and now we are writing each volatile component in the solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction. So what is the difference? We have written here in the generalized form, each volatile component in the solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction. Okay, now we are dealing with the binary solution only. the binary solution. Okay, now in the binary solution, suppose the solute and solvent are present. Okay, now this solvent I am considering as component 1 and the solute I am considering as component 2, which is non-volatile. Now who will form the vapor pressure? This only solvent will form the vapor pressure. Now what I have to say? This P1 in the solution, only who will form the vapor pressure? Only P1, because it is only volatile in nature. So this P1 is proportional to X1 I can write, or P1 is equal to P1 not X1. Yes or no? Because I am not writing for P2. Why I am not writing? Because it is which type of nature? Non-volatile in nature. Non-volatile in nature. So only the equation which will come out to as P1 is equal to P1 naught into X1. If you plot a graph, now there we have drawn two lines and we have crossed it. Now here when you draw the vapor pressure with the mole fraction. Okay, now in this, there the equation, the graph is like this. Now here it is y is equal to what? Mx plus c, but here c constant is not there, so your graph will be like this. Okay, so your graph will be in this manner for which type? When a non-volatile solute is dissolved in a given solvent. Hope this second part or the second form of the Raoult's law is also clear to you. When a non-volatile solute is dissolved in any liquid, what will happen? This lowers the vapor pressure and it is known as relative lowering of vapor pressure. It is depending on the nature and not, it is not depending on the nature but only depending on the number of the particles. Okay, then Raoult's law gave a general form of his law and said that for any solution, the partial vapor pressure of each volatile component, here the word volatile is important, there we have written each component because both were volatile, in the solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction. We have considered two binary solutions, so one is solute and the other is solvent. Solvent is 1, solute is 2. It will forming a vapor pressure that is equal to P1. According to Raoult's law, this vapor pressure is nothing but equal to the mole fraction, and when we remove the proportionality we put a constant which is P1 naught, and this is the graph of the Raoult's law. Okay, hope this three topics of the Raoult's law is very clear to you. Now, we'll talk about the Raoult's law one more thing. According to him, what is an ideal solution? Ideal solution, and what is non-ideal solution? Okay, this is also a theoretical part of this, in which sometimes the question is asked either in the form of one number or sometimes asked in the form of state Raoult's law or non-ideal solution or anything, something is asked here. Okay, any of the way it can be asked. Now first of all we'll try to understand what do we mean by ideal solution and a non-ideal solution. Now ideal solution is which type of a solution? An ideal solution is one which obeys Raoult's law over the entire range of concentration. Over the entire range of concentration. What does the word important here is? The entire range, children. Means never it fails to follow the Raoult's law. For the entire range it is following or obeying Raoult's law, then only it is called the ideal solution. Now what he said that when we are talking about this ideal solution, when you mix the two solution, one liquid is dissolved in the other liquid, the delta H of mixing, it is equal to 0. means neither the enthalpy or the heat is evolved out nor it is absorbed in the given solution. And this delta V of mixing is also equal to 0. What does it mean? There is no change in the volume. You are adding two liquids, there is no change in the volume. This is the ideal solution. Now it's very difficult, this type of solution, and it is very rare also. But still we can explain it. Suppose there are two components A and B. Okay. In pure state. Okay. Two components there are A and B. In the pure state, A is having the intermolecular forces as A, and B is having the intermolecular forces as B. Yes or no? When they are mixed, now what will happen? This and this will also mix together. So now when they are mixed, there is intermolecular forces between A and B. In the pure state, there is only AA forces, and when it is B, it is only BB forces. But when they are mixed, the forces are of the type AB. Now what the Raoult law is saying means when this type of force or this type of force which is there in their original or the pure state, after mixing, this type of force is the same. Okay, so these two forces are to be the same to follow the Raoult's law and to be a ideal solution. So this ideal solution, I said it is very rare, but still some of the solution we say that it is following the Raoult's law over the entire range and they are considered as the ideal solution. The example which I am giving here is N-hexane, N-heptane. Okay, both are having the class of alkane, N-hexane and N-heptane. Second example I am giving benzene and toluene. Okay, third example I am giving chloroethane and bromoethane. Now if you see to the example of all this, what is common in this? They are belonging to same class. When they are having the same class and differ only in one or two carbon atoms, then they will follow the Raoult's law equation over the ideal solution where delta H of mixing is 0 and delta V of mixing is also 0. Okay, so what you have to write in the question, if it is a 1 mark question, it is said that what is an ideal solution? If you will write only which obeys Raoult's law. Generally children write in this way, but you have to write that over the entire range of concentration. Delta H of mixing is 0 and delta V of mixing is 0. This whole thing you have to write if it is asked that what is an ideal solution. Now, if you have to explain it with the example, what you will write, if there are two components A and B. In the pure state, the A is having the force AA and B is having the force BB. When they are mixed, the forces are AB. Okay, these two forces are the intermolecular forces are the same. Okay, when they are the same, it is following the Raoult's law and they are the ideal solutions. Okay, the intermolecular forces are same in their pure state as well as when they are mixed. Therefore, it is which solution? Ideal solution. Example, N-hexane and N-heptane. It is an example of it because here these two components, they are belonging to the same class of alkanes and differ by only 1 or 2 carbon atom. Fine children? If you will say methane and hexane, so not possible. Fine? Hardly there is a difference of 1 carbon atom or any 1 atom. Fine? Here chloroethane and bromoethane. So this can also be the example of what? Ideal solution. So what you can write here, when they belong to same class, differ by 1 carbon or other atom. Okay. Like here the carbon atoms are same, the other atom is different. Hope this ideal solution is very clear to you. Now we'll talk about the second type of solution, that is non-ideal solution. Now the second case which I am dealing with, it is non-ideal solution. Now when I am talking about this non-ideal solution, means what? It does not obey Raoult's law over the entire range of concentration. It does not obey Raoult's law over the entire range of concentration. Okay. Now when we are talking about this non-ideal solution, it is not obeying the Raoult's law, but here there are two categories of this non-ideal solution. The one which exhibit positive deviation. Okay, so two categories of non-ideal solution we'll talk about. One in which the positive deviation is there. Positive deviation from Raoult's law. Okay, first I am dealing with the positive deviation. The second is the negative deviation from Raoult's law. So first I am dealing with the, what I want to say, non-ideal solution is one which does not obey Raoult's law over the entire range of concentration. Now there is no one solution. It is of two types, one showing positive deviation from Raoult's law and the other is showing negative deviation from the Raoult's law. Okay. Now in the positive deviation, children see, I am taking the same components A and B. In the pure state, again same, the forces in A are what? AA, and in B are what? BB. When they are mixed, now what will happen? They will form the type of forces AB. Now children see, in the pure state the forces are strong, and when they are mixed the forces are weakened. The intermolecular forces gets weakened, and when this is the case, then they show the positive deviation from the Raoult's law. Okay, so what will happen when AA and BB forces, which forces? Intermolecular forces. If they are greater than what? AB intermolecular forces. Okay, so they will show which deviation? Positive deviation from the Raoult's law, means the vapor pressure is high. Already you know one thing, children, we have talked about it. The vapor pressure is inversely proportional to intermolecular forces. When I started the chapter, I told you the two factors vapor pressure is depending on temperature and intermolecular forces, and just turn the page and you will find this is inversely proportional. Now they are weakened, means vapor pressure is high. So vapor pressure is high means positive deviation. Everything here is high, only the intermolecular forces gets weakened, because we know vapor pressure is inversely proportional to the intermolecular force. Okay, now when I deal with the example, the first example I am taking as ethanol and acetone. Okay, acetone is CH3COCH3. Now you all know this is having hydrogen bonding in it, and this is a dipole-dipole interaction. Now when it is added to it, hydrogen bonding is strong. It breaks its hydrogen bonding, means the forces gets weakened, and when the forces gets weakened, the vapor pressure will become high, and which deviation is shown by it? The positive deviation is shown by the given solution. Okay, so when either the hydrogen bonding is broken Okay, the given compound is having the hydrogen bonding which is strong, and the other component which you have added, it breaks its hydrogen bond. Then the solution will show which type of deviation? Positive deviation. Now the second example I am taking, here it is CH3COCH3. To this I am adding carbon disulfide or carbon tetrachloride, any non-polar solvent. Okay, now this is polar, this is having dipole, and this is having what? The mu is equal to 0, so it is a non-polar solvent. So this way also the solution becomes having the weak intermolecular forces. So this solution also will show which type of deviation? The positive deviation from the Raoult's law. Okay, so any of the case, when the forces are strong and the other substance weakens its forces, then the deviation shown by it is the positive deviation from the Raoult's law. Okay, and you know who all forms the hydrogen bond? Hydrogen with oxygen, nitrogen or fluorine. Okay, so you can see that which type of bonding is there, whether the given compound is breaking or forming the bond, and accordingly you can give the example of it. Now the second case, it is the negative deviation from Raoult's law. Okay, now negative deviation from Raoult's law. Now the negative deviation, how we'll deal with? In this case, suppose in pure state, A is having intermolecular forces AA and B is having intermolecular forces BB. When they are mixed, the forces will be AB. Okay. Now, when this forces AB, it is stronger than the forces AA or BB. Okay. AA and I'll write BB. When AB, the forces are stronger and the forces in the pure state, that is AA and BB, they are weaker. Then the solution will show the negative deviation. The vapor pressure is decreasing. So it will show which type of deviation? The negative deviation. Here only what will happen? The intermolecular forces will become strong. Clear, children? And these are weak in the pure state. Okay. So when it becomes strong, the vapor pressure will lower down, and when vapor pressure is lower down, which type of deviation it is? It is the negative deviation. Hope it's clear to you. Now I'll give you the example of it. Suppose to the acetone CH3COCH3, I add chloroform, which is CHCl3. Okay. Now, when I add it to the acetone CHCl3, I can write this way, children. CH3, C double bond O. And this, if I'll write H, this is Cl, Cl and Cl. So, this is forming what? Hydrogen bonding. Previously, they were not having any hydrogen bonding, but when we added it together, it is forming a hydrogen bond which is strong. Therefore, it is an example of which case? Acetone and chloroform is an example of negative deviation from Raoult's law. Okay, so this is the first example. Now, the second example I am giving phenol. And the second I am taking aniline. Aniline is benzene having NH2. Okay, this is having the lone pair of electron. Now what will happen? This hydrogen, okay, this hydrogen can form the hydrogen bond with the nitrogen of this aniline, because this oxygen is utilized in the resonance. So this hydrogen can easily form the hydrogen bond with it. It is always already covalently bonded with the oxygen. So this can form the hydrogen bond, and since the forces become strong, therefore it is also an example of the negative deviation from Raoult's law. Okay, children. So hope it's very clear. When we are talking about the ideal solution, the two forces before mixing and after mixing, they are the same. The delta H is not equal to 0 and delta V of mixing is also not equal to 0. This class of compound is having the example of such compounds which belong to a same class and differ by only one atom, either the carbon or any other atom. So this class of compound is example of ideal solution. When we talk about the non-ideal solution, and hope the definition is clear, when it is written that over the entire range, then only it is ideal solution. Now for the non-ideal solution, it does not obey Raoult's law over the entire range. Okay, I can write here delta H of mixing is not equal to 0 and delta V of mixing is also not equal to 0. Here what we can say, in case of the positive deviation, this is also higher, this is also positive. Means positive deviation, you can write delta H is also positive and this delta V is also having more volume. Okay. In this case, when we are mixing A and B, the forces before they are mixed in the pure state are stronger than when they are mixed. Then the vapor pressure will increase and it will show which deviation? Positive deviation. Intermolecular forces gets weakened, vapor pressure is increased, delta H become positive and delta V is also positive or it is higher value. Everything is higher, only the intermolecular force is weakened. Which example you will give? You remember that if suppose there is a hydrogen bonding or strong bonding and the other component which you have added, it is either breaking the bonding or making it weaker, then in that case it is a positive deviation. When we are talking about the negative deviation, this negative deviation will talk about the forces AA and BV were weak when before adding, and when they are added AB is strong. Here also delta H of mixing is not equal to 0 and delta V of mixing is also not equal to 0. Here delta H is negative deviation, so negative. This delta V is also lower down, and what will happen? This will cause the negative deviation. Only the intermolecular forces gets strong. Fine, children? Now, when we talk about the example of it, this acetone is added to CHCl3, which is chloroform. Now, before this, they are not having any such hydrogen bonding, but when they are mixed together, this oxygen gets bonded to this hydrogen. Already covalently bonded, then they can attach by the hydrogen bond. This is strong force, therefore it is showing which type of deviation? The negative deviation. Similarly, when phenol is added to aniline, the nitrogen of the aniline get bonded to the hydrogen of the phenol by hydrogen bonding. Therefore, this is also an example of negative deviation. Before this, the forces were weak. After adding, the forces get strong. Okay, so vapor pressure decreases. Now, when I talk about this, let me explain you by the graph also. Now you remember what the graph we have plot for the Raoult's law. The plot which we have made, suppose P1 I am P1 naught and this is x1 is 1, x2 here is 0. At this point x2 is 1 and x1 is 0. This is suppose I am taking here this as P2 naught. Okay. Now this is P1 naught, this point, and this is P2 naught. When they are mixed, what I said for the Raoult's law, this is the case. This is P1 and this is what? P2. When you add it together, the P total is equal to P1 plus P2. Hope this was clear to you when I drawn. Now, when I am talking about the positive deviation, this is what? Vapor pressure. So, there is an increase in the vapor pressure. So, this will above, this will also on the top, and this will also on the top. This is which deviation? Positive deviation. Okay, now when I talk about the negative deviation, this is P1 naught. This is x1 is equal to 1, x2 is equal to 0, x2 is equal to 1, x1 is equal to 0. This is which point? P2 naught. Okay, now we have plotted it in this way for the Raoult's law. Add it together. This is P total, which is nothing but P1 plus P2. Now negative deviation means vapor pressure decreases. So all the lines you draw below it. This is P1 and this is what? P2. Okay. So all the points, it is clear to you that this I am considering here P1 as more volatile. Any point you can take. It's not a problem. Okay. So this is the graph for the positive deviation. This is for negative deviation. Hope this whole Raoult's law is very clear to you. Now coming to the next topic, it is azeotropic mixture. Azeotropic mixture. Now first of all, what are azeotropes? It is a binary mixture which is having same composition. Same composition means the mole fractions are the same in liquid and vapor state, and they boil at constant temperature. Okay, so a binary solution which is having same composition in liquid and the vapor state and they boil at the constant temperature, then such a solution it is known as azeotrope. Hope the definition is clear to you. Same composition means in the liquid phase also they are having the same, and in this vapor phase also the number of moles are the same. Okay, now in this star point you can write as they cannot be separated by fractional distillation. They can't be separated by fractional distillation. Now why can't we separate them by the fractional distillation? Because they are having the same composition in liquid and vapor phase. Fractional distillation, they are having the same in the liquid phase, but when we make the vapor, one boils at the higher point and the other boils at the lower temperature. But here it is not going to be the same. Therefore, you cannot separate them even by the fractional distillation. Now there are two types. Okay, the one is called minimum boiling azeotrope, and the second I am dealing with is maximum boiling azeotrope. Okay, now what does it mean? Minimum boiling azeotrope and maximum boiling. The one which shows positive deviation from Raoult's law. They are minimum boiling azeotrope. Okay, so the one which are showing the positive deviation from the Raoult's law, they are the minimum boiling azeotrope. Now here I am taking the example of 95% solution of ethanol in water. What does it mean? 95% solution of ethanol in water. You can't separate them. Okay, so this solution in the liquid phase as well as the vapor phase, it is having the same composition and it is showing which deviation? The positive deviation from the Raoult's law. Now, the maximum boiling azeotrops are the one which shows negative deviation from Raoult's law. Okay, so negative deviation which is showing, it is the maximum boiling azeotrop. The one which is showing the positive deviation, it is the minimum boiling azeotrop. And you know which is showing the positive deviation? When the intermolecular forces are weak, and when the intermolecular forces are strong, it is showing the negative deviation. Now here children, the example which I am giving, it is 68% solution of HNO3 in water. Okay, now here you just see 68% nitric acid solution in water. Okay, water is 32% and HNO3 is 68%. Okay, now in this case, when I am talking of this example, it is 95% solution of ethanol in water. This azeotrop is clear to you, in which the binary solution which is having the same composition in liquid and vapor phase and which boils at the constant temperature. Even you can't separate them by fractional distillation. Two types are there. Minimum boiling azeotrop and maximum boiling azeotrop. Which shows positive deviation are minimum boiling, which shows negative deviation are maximum boiling. Okay, now just see. Here I am considering the example of ethanol in water. Just now I explained you that the one which are having the breaking the hydrogen bonding. Okay, when the intermolecular forces after the mixing, it becomes weak. Then it is the positive deviation. Now here I'll explain to you ethanol plus water. Okay, now the second example which I am dealing here, this ethanol plus water, it is the positive deviation from the Raoult's law. This example will also quote it here in the positive deviation. Now see, ethanol is also having hydrogen bonding. Yes. Now when I will talk about water, the water hydrogen bond is this way. This also can form and this hydrogen can also form. Now why it is a positive deviation? When you added ethanol to water, now water double hydrogen bonding was there, and in the when you talk about the ethanol, it is having single. When you added it to water, it will form which type of hydrogen bonding? C2H5OH dash 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 OH and H, because it can form only one hydrogen bond with the water. Now what will happen? I said earlier, which is breaking the hydrogen bond. So here what will happen? This ethanol is breaking the hydrogen bonding of the water and therefore weakens it, and therefore it is which case? Positive deviation from the Raoult's law. Hope this point is clear to you. Now when I talk about the negative deviation, in the negative deviation, the two examples I quote here, this is the third example I am taking. I said HNO3 in water. Okay, now you have read the 11th chapter, 11th class, the 5th chapter, states of matter. There you have read about various type of forces, dipole, 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 induced dipole, and then you have read about the hydrogen bonding and all. There is one more type of force which is called the ion dipole force. Okay, so when this HNO3 it is dissolved in water, it gives out H positive ion. When it gives this H positive ion in water, water is having like water only. Okay, so this is ion and this is a dipole. So this dipole, ion dipole force is very strong. Okay, which is very, very strong. Okay, so this ion dipole force, since it is very strong, therefore it is causing the vapor pressure to be lower down, and therefore it is which deviation? The negative deviation from the Raoult's law. Means the forces after formation is strong. Hope this all the points are clear to you. In the azeotropic mixture, since I had given these two examples which is given in your book, so I explained it according to the positive and the negative deviation from the Raoult's law. Hope all the points are clear to you. Anything you want to ask, you can ask me, and please if you are liking, then please subscribe the channel and do the numerical which I had given for the next in the Raoult's law. Thank you.